So good morning class. Again, as you can see, the weather is really awesome outside. But yes, we have to stay safe at home and take the necessary precautions for the same. So we are continuing class with the topic further, which we started yesterday. So again, we are here starting with lesson number 2, sources of corporate finance. Yesterday we started with preference shares, correct? So we were here long-term sources, owned capital, shares, and in shares we started yesterday with preference shares. That means what were the preference shares and what were the features of preference shares. So the smart code which I gave you all was Radio Mirchi platform number 5.0. Now today moving forward with the next topic, we are gonna study a very important answer. What are the different types of preference shares? So as we saw types of equity shares in the previous lectures, the same way we are going to continue types of preference shares, but this answer completely is a very important answer from exam point of view as well as from knowledge point of view. Okay, so pay attention class as we are moving forward with the topic. So starting with types of preference shares. Now the preference shares are divided into various types depending upon their nature. So as you can see the diagram I have disclosed in front of you, there are actually 4 parts out of which 3 are given over here. So the 3 parts are: first, right to dividend; second, option to convert; and the third, right to vote; and the fourth one also exists, which is called as repayment of capital. So we'll be looking forward towards these answers in detail one by one. So as you all can see, types of preference shares are divided into 4 categories. Number 1, the right to dividend, which that means these shares give you the right to get the dividend. Like if you invest in these kind of preference shares. Now the right to dividend of shares, preference shares are of 2 types. Number 1, cumulative preference shares and non-cumulative preference shares. Option to convert, that means you can convert your preference shares into equity shares. So that is why they are called as convertible preference shares and non-convertible preference shares. Right to vote. These shares give you a right to vote. That means apart from getting the normal preferential priority in getting the profits of the company for dividend, you also get a right to vote as well as you also get a share in the surplus profit. Correct. So that we'll be seeing in detail one by one. And then there is one more category which is not mentioned over here, that is called as repayment of capital. So that is divided into 2 parts: redeemable preference shares and irredeemable preference shares. So with this class, we are moving forward with the topic one by one. So pay attention. So to remember types of preference shares, the smart code which you can remember is CPR. So there are 2 C's and P and R. 2 C's stands for cumulative, non-cumulative, convertible, non-convertible. P stands for participating, non-participating, and R stands for redeemable, irredeemable shares. So is the smart code clear? The answer is really very simple and easy to understand if you pay attention. So we are moving forward with the first type, the first C. It is on the basis of right to dividend. So they are of 2 types: cumulative preference shares and non-cumulative preference shares. So what do you mean by cumulative preference shares? We'll have a look at that. The cumulative preference shares are those shares on which the dividend goes on accumulating until it is fully paid. This means if the dividend is not paid in 1 or more years due to inadequate profits, then this unpaid dividend gets accumulated. So in simple words, if I tell you all, always remember one thing: all the preference shares are always cumulative in nature unless and until anything is specified in AA. So what is AA? Articles of association. Okay. So cumulative preference shares are those shares on which the dividend goes on accumulating until it is fully paid. So that means if in 1 year the company doesn't make that much profit and it is not able to pay the dividend to the preference shareholders, उनका वो particular year का dividend जमा होता रहेगा. So cumulative means to accumulate. Accumulate means जमा होना. तो एक साथ अगले साल जब कंपनी प्रॉफिट कमाएगी तो अगले साल उनको वो एक साथ दे दिया जाएगा मिला, पिछले साल का भी और उस साल का, current year का. So that is what it is told over here. If the dividend is not paid in 1 or more years due to inadequate profits, then this unpaid dividend gets accumulated. वो जमा होते रहेगा, and when the company is in a position to pay the dividend, all the pending dividends will be given to you together. So that is what is the cumulative preference share ka meaning. And one more thing I told you, that all the preference shares are always cumulative in nature. So keep that thing in mind. So if you followed cumulative, uska opposite is non-cumulative. Iska matlab hai the dividend on these shares does not get accumulated. This means the dividend on shares can be paid only out of profits of that year. If dividend is not paid in any year, it is lost forever. The non-cumulative का मतलब है अगर इस साल कंपनी उतना प्रॉफिट नहीं बना रही है तो इस साल आपको डिविडेंड नहीं मिलेगा. So that means the dividend for this year will be lost because अगले साल वो carry forward नहीं होने वाला. Why so? Because it is non-cumulative in nature. नाम से ही पता लग जाता है. So cumulative means जमा होना and अगले साल मिलना, और ये जब तक जमा होते रहेगा, that जमा होना word is called as arrears. So I told you all yesterday also in the video, arrears means outstanding, pending. Okay. So clear with the non-cumulative and cumulative. In this you get the right to dividend. Cumulative, yes, अगर ये साल में नहीं मिला अगले साल में मिल जाएगा, accumulate होगा. Non-cumulative, if the company is not making any profits, it is totally dependent on profit. Keep that in mind. So if the company is not making profit this year, you won't get dividend this year. So dividend for the current year is completely lost. Okay. So moving forward with the second one, option to convert. So as I told you, दूसरा C. The option to convert are of two types: convertible preference shares, non-convertible preference shares. So let us see one by one. What do they mean? What is convertible preference shares? So the holders of these shares have a right to convert their preference shares into equity shares. The conversion takes place within a certain fixed period. So in this particular type of preference shares, you can convert them into equity shares, but that takes a certain time, a certain period of time you can do that. So that are convertible. So what will be non-convertible? Those shares which cannot be converted into equity shares are called as non-convertible preference shares. So this one was very easy. Okay. So two C's are over. So what was the smart code? Double C PR. So now we are at the third one, right to vote. So now right to vote means they are of two types. So if you are voting, that means you are participating. So again, these are of two types: participating preference shares and non-participating preference shares. So let us see one by one. The holders of these shares are entitled to participate in surplus profit besides preferential dividend. So I told you all in the start also, participating का मतलब है जब कंपनी नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट कमाती है तो बंदे को नॉर्मल डिविडेंड तो मिलेगा ही, दैट मींस प्रेफरेंस तो मिलता ही है एज यूजुअल प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स को, बट इसके अलावा उनको एक स्पेशल राइट मिलती है टू पार्टिसिपेट इन सरप्लस प्रॉफिट. नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय सरप्लस? मान लो कंपनी का टारगेट था ये साल हम लोग को 1 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट कमाना है, लेकिन कंपनी ने इस साल 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल से 1 करोड़ 10 लाख का प्रॉफिट कमाया. So that means those who have invested in participating preference shares, उनको वो 10 लाख में भी 10 लाख सरप्लस प्रॉफिट हुआ, तो 10 लाख में भी हिस्सा प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को मिलेगा if you have invested in participating preference shares. So clear with the logic? The company was thinking we'll make 1 crore profit, but the company has made a profit of 1 crore 10 lakh. So the 10 lakh is surplus ज़्यादा है, तो उस 10 लाख में भी preference shares को हिस्सा मिलेगा. They are entitled to participate in the surplus profit besides preferential dividend. तो जो भी सरप्लस इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स को देने के बाद बचेगा उसमें भी ये प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स वालों को उनका एक्स्ट्रा डिविडेंड मिल सकता है. दे कैन क्लेम द एक्स्ट्रा डिविडेंड. Non-participating, the preference shares are deemed to be non-participating if there is no clear provisions in the articles of association. अगर कोई क्लियर प्रोविजन आप लोगों ने नहीं स्पेसिफाई किया है अपने आर्टिकल्स बनाते समय, then those preference shares will be considered to be non-participating. So if your shares are participating, please mention a clear provision in the articles of association before you all disclose the prospectus or at the time when you all show the prospectus to the public. Coming to the fourth one, repayment of capital, as I told you. So the repayment of capital includes two types, redeemable preference shares and irredeemable preference shares. So what are redeemable preference shares? This we have already studied in the previous lectures as well, if you paid attention. Shares which can be redeemed after a certain fixed period of time are called as redeemable preference shares. So redeem करना मतलब वापस मिलना. For example, when you purchase anything online, आपको बोला जाता है ना, you can redeem this coupon in your next purchase. तो redeem का मतलब है आपको उतना डिस्काउंट मिल जाता है या आपको पे बैक मिल जाता है. So that is the meaning of redeem. So basically redeemable preference shares का मतलब क्या है? After a certain fixed period of time, you can get those shares back. That is redeemable. And what is non-redeemable? Shares which are not redeemable, that is payable only on winding up of the company, are called as irredeemable preference shares. इसका मतलब है जब तक कंपनी बंद नहीं होगी आपको ये शेयर्स वापस नहीं मिलेंगे. That is irredeemable. So basically the rules, that is Companies Act, जो अपना Companies Act है, it doesn't allow issue of non-redeemable preference shares. तो कंपनी के रूल के हिसाब से आप ये वाले शेयर्स इशू नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स वो शेयर्स होते हैं जिसमें आप कैपिटल रिडीम कर सकते हो. सो दैट इज व्हाई नॉन रिडीमेबल प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स का इशू इज नॉट अलाउड एज पर सेक्शन 55(1) ऑफ कंपनीज एक्ट 2013. तो इसीलिए प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को हमने कल फीचर्स में देखा था ना, दे आर मॉडरेट इन्वेस्टर्स. They don't like to take risk. They want to be safe. And यहाँ पे steady return मिलता है कैपिटल पे और आपका कैपिटल सेफ रहता है. क्यों सेफ रहता है? Because you know after certain period of time you can redeem the capital back. आपको आपका कैपिटल वापस मिल सकता है. You can redeem the shares. So that is why this is one of the important type of preference shares. Okay. So with this the types of preference shares are over. So we'll have a quick revision. What were the different types of preference shares? It is divided into 4 categories. Number 1, right to dividend. In that you have cumulative, non-cumulative. Option to convert. You have convertible and non-convertible. Right to vote. Participating, non-participating. And repayment of capital. Redeemable and non-redeemable preference shares. Okay, now again you will say ये वापस क्यों आ गई slide? So class, if you pay attention, we have finished the first 4 stages. Long-term sources, owned capital, shares, दोनों complete कर लिए हमने. Equity shares और preference shares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So can you all see this upper part? This upper part we have already finished. Now we'll be covering one more topic in this particular lecture, that is retained earnings. So with this topic we'll be completely winding off with the owned capital wala hissa. So with this, our owned capital will get completed over here today itself. So that is why I have put the diagram in front of you, because the next topic which we are going to start now is long-term sources, owned capital. What do you mean by retained earnings? Remember the smart code SRDLPP. So in that SR, R stands for retained earnings. So this is the next topic that we are going to cover just now. So we are starting with owned capital, retained earnings. So let's have a look. What do you mean by retained earning? This I have already explained you all when we were covering the first chapter. The part of the profit which is kept aside by the company in the form of reserve fund. Now you all are learning partnership final accounts, correct? In that, on the liability side, you always put general reserve or reserve fund. डालते हो कि नहीं? Entry pass करते हो ना वहाँ पे? So basically, retained earnings कुछ नहीं होता है, ये फंड आप इमरजेंसी के लिए हर समय थोड़ा थोड़ा जैसे आप प्रॉफिट कमाते हो कंपनी में, यू कीप सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ मनी असाइड, और आप कंसिडर करते हो कि ये एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता है. So the part of the profit which is kept aside by the company in the form of reserve fund is called as retained earnings. They are called as retained earnings and they keep on accumulating over the years. जैसे मैंने बोला हर साल भले आप 1 रुपए, 10 रुपए, 100 रुपए, 1000 रुपए रखो, but every year you keep on keeping it aside. थोड़ा थोड़ा पैसा जमा कर रहे हो आप साइड में इमरजेंसी के. So ये accumulate होता रहता है. Accumulate होना मतलब जमा होते रहता है. And once you feel that काफी सारा पैसा जमा हो गया है and you see that आपको बाहर से borrowed capital और नहीं लेना है, you don't want to take debt, अपने ऊपर आपको liability create नहीं करनी है, so you can reinvest this money back in the business. तो आप खुद से वो पैसा जो आपने साइड में रखा था रिजर्व फंड के तौर पे, you can take that money and reinvest the same money into the business, because if you don't want to create a burden or liability or increase the borrowed capital अपने company में ज़्यादा तो. So that is an option. So in short, how can we define the retained earnings? The process of accumulating the corporate profits and their utilization in business is called as retained earnings. जो आप accumulate कर रहे हो बचा हुआ प्रॉफिट, थोड़ा सा हिस्सा प्रॉफिट का, एंड वापस उसको री इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, बिजनेस में यूटिलाइज कर रहे हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स. सो क्लियर विद द टॉपिक, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स? ओके, सो कंटिन्यूइंग फॉरवर्ड, द कंपनी कन्वर्ट्स इट्स रिजर्व्स into bonus share capital which are issued free of cost to the existing equity shareholders out of the retained earnings. So how do you invest your retained earnings, reinvest in the business? How do you do that? You issue bonus share capital. This topic I've already covered in features of equity shares. So in order to get good knowledge and clarity of the concept, please listen to that video. So the company converts its reserves into bonus share capital, which are issued free of cost and they can be issued only to existing equity shareholders. यहाँ पे preference shareholders को preference नहीं दी जाती while issuing bonus shares. The management can convert retained earnings into permanent share capital by issuing the bonus shares. The important source of raising long-term capital. So as I told you, retained earnings आपका खुद का पैसा है जो आप इतने सालों से जमा कर रहे हो. So this is a long-term capital because आप सालों साल पैसा जमा कर रहे हो, and when you feel that enough money जमा हो चुका है, accumulate हो चुका है, you will invest that money again into the business. So that is why it is considered as an important source of raising the long-term capital. It is one of the simple and cheapest method to raise the finance because you are not dependent on anybody. Unless and until आप जब तक profit कमा रहे हो, आपके reserve fund में पैसा जमा होता ही रहेगा. और जिस समय आप लॉस भी कर रहे हो, उस समय ये पैसा आपकी मदद करने के लिए सेफ रहेगा आपके पास, बिकॉज यू ऑलवेज कीप सर्टेन मनी असाइड फॉर इमरजेंसी। आप ऐसा सोच के जमा करते हो कि कल को अगर कहाँ से भी पैसा नहीं मिला तो दिस मनी एटलीस्ट यू हैव दैट विल सेव योर लाइफ। सो दैट इज कॉल्ड एज simple and cheapest method to raise the finances, retained earnings. So in short, if I'll tell you all, retained earnings is equal to internal source of finance, because आप अंदर ही अंदर कंपनी के खुद से पैसा डाल रहे हो, you are not taking it from somebody outside, you are investing your own money which you had kept aside for certain years, and वो accumulate होके अभी इतना हो गया है कि वो आपकी help कर सकता है. That is why it is also called as plowing back of the profit. मतलब जो profit पहले कमाया था उसका फल आप आज खा रहे हो, वो आपको अभी help कर रहा है. It is helping you to get more profit and utilize your money for the betterment of your company and your company's future. Okay. Now, what are the determinants of retained earnings or features of retained earnings? Now for this, again I have made a smart code. This smart code is very very famous one. गब्बर का dialogue है शोले film का. ये हाथ मुझे दे दे ठाकुर. This was the dialogue. So basically the smart code has 4 alphabets, that is G, D and T, where T is coming 2 times. So features of retained earnings, ये answer I don't think आपको by heart करना पड़ेगा, because इसका smart code itself is very easy to remember. गब्बर का dialogue है, ये हाथ मुझे दे दे ठाकुर. Okay, so let us see the determinants of retained earnings one by one. So गब्बर का G stands for government control. A government is a regulatory body of economic system of the country, as we all know. Its policies, rules and regulation ensures that the companies work as per its regulations. So this is one of the determinants of retained earnings, because every company has to register itself. ये हमने पढ़ा था, registration is compulsory, under which act? Companies Act of 2013. So that is why आपके कंपनी पे गवर्नमेंट का कंट्रोल रहता है. वंस यू रजिस्टर योर कंपनी, यू हैव टू बी वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट and you also have to gain the trust of the public, and therefore government will interfere and see whether you are working as per the rules, norms, policies or not, and according to that it will govern or determine. So जितना प्रॉफिट आप कमा रहे हो, certain percentage आप रिजर्व के तौर पे रखोगे, and then you have to pay other taxes as well to the government. GST है, corporate tax है, all these taxes you have to pay to the government regularly. So that will determine कि आप जो भी प्रॉफिट कमा रहे हो उसका सही से इस्तेमाल किया जाए. So this is the first determinant. There is government control. Then you have D, dividend policy. It is a policy of the board of directors in regards to distribution of profit. A conservative dividend policy is needed for having good accumulation of profit. Now, if your company is making profit and आप सारा profit dividend के तौर पे बांट दोगे, तो आपके पास कुछ नहीं बचेगा जमा करने के लिए, right? So, in order, if you want to accumulate, आपको अगर वो पैसा कुछ साइड में रखना है, तो it is very essential कि आपकी dividend policy conservative हो. Conservative मतलब ढील वाली नहीं, liberal वाली नहीं, थोड़ी सी strict हो. Strict मतलब profits होगा, dividend मिलेगा, लेकिन dividend उतने ज्यादा नहीं मिलेंगे. You have to keep your dividend policy a little bit of conservative types. Okay, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to accumulate. आप accumulate ही नहीं कर पाओगे, आपके पास profit का पैसा ही नहीं बचेगा, तो आप side में क्या रखोगे अपने लिए? So for that reason, the dividend policy which is framed by the board of directors should not be too liberal, ज़्यादा भी ढीली ढाली नहीं होनी चाहिए और ज़्यादा भी strict नहीं होनी चाहिए. Because if the investors do not get proper return, they will not invest in your company. So it should be somewhere in the middle, medium honi chahiye, not too strict nor too liberal. Okay, coming to the next determinant, T, total earnings of the company. If there is ample profit, company can save and retain some parts of the profit. More the earnings, a company can save more. तो वही जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, if the company is earning ample of profit, then there is no need to worry. आप इन्वेस्टर्स को भी खुश रख सकते हो और आप अपने लिए भी पैसा बाजू में निकाल के रख सकते हो. So that is why your focus should be that every year your company should make more and more profit. You all should not go below a certain level. जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना, in order to pass, you all should not go below 35% of marks. एक minimum line रखिए ना, 35 के नीचे मत जाना. Try and see to it कि आपके marks 35 के ऊपर ही आए. In the same way, set a limit for your company कि this is my border line. मुझे इस particular border line के नीचे profit नहीं कमाना है. I should not go below this particular border line. So if you earn more, your company can save more. If earnings are less, you cannot save more. So that you have to keep in mind. That also affects the retained earnings. Last but not the least, the taxation policy. The taxation policy of the government is also an important determinant of corporate savings. If the taxes levied are at a high rate, the company cannot save much. तो सेम लॉजिक है, अगर आप टैक्स रेट ज्यादा रखोगे तो आपको ज्यादा टैक्सेस भरने पड़ेंगे. ज्यादा टैक्सेस भर रहे हो मतलब ज्यादा पैसा गवर्नमेंट को जा रहा है. आपके कंपनी के पास कोई पैसा नहीं बच रहा है, तो इफ यू आर नॉट लेफ्ट विथ एनी सेविंग्स, how will you save and how will you accumulate your profit, right? So the taxation policy also affects the accumulation of corporate savings, retained earnings, because if you pay more taxes, you will be left with less money, and if you are saving less, you cannot accumulate more internal finance for yourself. So with this class, we are done for the today's topic. I hope you all are safe and you all are learning, studying, keep practicing and keep revising. So we'll meet tomorrow with the next set of concepts. Thank you so much class for listening to me.